The last patient of Nova Station. Dr. Reina Patel's boots echoed through the empty corridors of Nova Station's medical wing, each step disturbing years of settled dust. The emergency lights cast irregular shadows across the walls, their power cells struggling after nearly a decade of neglect. She adjusted her diagnostic kit strap across her shoulder, the weight of its contents a familiar comfort in this abandoned place. Station status, she called out to her AI companion. Life support at 42% capacity, Doctor, Perseus responded through her earpiece. Primary power grid offline. Running on auxiliary systems. And there was an unusual pause. I'm detecting an anomalous power signature from Ward 7. Reina frowned. Ward 7 had been the Cybernetics Research Center, her old workplace before the stellar confluence withdrew funding from the station. Show me the readings. A holographic display materialized before her eyes, showing energy patterns she hadn't seen in years. That's impossible, she whispered. Those are neural maintenance signatures. Someone's still here. The ward's doors were sealed, emergency protocols still active after all this time. It took Reina nearly 20 minutes to bypass the security systems, her fingers remembering codes she thought she'd forgotten. When the doors finally slid open with a protesting groan, the sight before her stole her breath. In the center of the room, suspended in a modified stasis field, floated a being unlike any Reina had encountered in her 15 years of xenomedicine. Her skin was like polished opal, shifting with subtle colors beneath a translucent surface. Cybernetic implants traced elegant patterns along her limbs, but they were dark, inactive. Most striking were the crystalline formations that emerged from her shoulders and spine, now dulled and cracked. Perseus, scan for vitals, Reina ordered, already moving to the diagnostic console. Subject is alive but in critical condition, Perseus reported. Significant neural degradation. Cybernetic systems are operating at minimal capacity. The stasis field appears to be the only thing preventing complete system failure. Reina's fingers flew across the console, bringing up years of medical logs. The patient's name was Nyx, a refugee from the Crystalline Collective. She had come to Nova Station seeking treatment for a degenerative neural condition that was causing her crystalline structures to break down. The last entry was from Dr. Harrison, Reina's mentor, dated just before the evacuation order. Patient Nyx's condition has stabilized, but complete neural restoration requires more time than we have. I've placed her in stasis, hoping someone will find her. Reina, if you're reading this, you're the only one I trust to finish what we started. The full treatment protocol is in my personal database. Save her. Reina felt tears prick at her eyes. Oh, Harrison, you old fool. You knew I'd come back to check eventually. She spent the next hours reviewing Harrison's research, understanding the unique challenges of Nyx's condition. The crystalline structures weren't just decorative, they were part of her nervous system, a biological quantum computer that helped her process reality differently than humans. The cybernetic implants were meant to support this system, but they had been calibrated incorrectly, causing cascade failures throughout her neural network. I can help her, Reina realized, but it's going to take time. Perseus, contact the stellar confluence. Tell them we found a surviving patient from the Nova Station project. And then help me set up a base camp. We're staying. Over the next weeks, Reina worked tirelessly, recalibrating Nyx's implants millimeter by millimeter. She spoke to her patient constantly, explaining each procedure, sharing stories of her own life, reading research papers aloud. The station slowly came back to life around them as Reina restored systems one by one. It was during the third week that Nyx first showed signs of consciousness. Reina was adjusting a neural pathway when she felt a gentle brush against her mind, a sensation like crystal chimes in a soft breeze. You came back. The words weren't spoken but felt, resonating through Reina's thoughts. Yes, Reina said softly, placing her hand near Nyx's. I'm Dr. Patel. I'm here to help you heal. Others tried. Failed. Pain, too much. I know. But I'm not giving up. Harrison left me everything he learned about your condition. And I've spent the last decade studying crystalline neural structures. We're going to get you moving again, Nix. Together. The first attempts at reducing the stasis field were difficult. Nix's pain was intense, her crystalline structures flaring with discordant energy. But Reyna discovered that by synchronizing the cybernetic implants with Nix's natural crystalline frequency, she could create harmony between the systems. Think of it like tuning an instrument, Reyna explained as she worked. Right now, your biological and cybernetic systems are playing in different keys. We need to get them into harmony. Slowly, day by day, Nix began to stabilize. Her crystalline structures regained their luminescence, their natural patterns of light and color returning. She learned to move again, first just her fingers, then her hands, eventually her entire body. Each success was celebrated, each setback met with determined problem-solving. 1 month into the treatment, Nix managed to stand for the first time in years. Her crystalline structures caught the light, sending rainbow refractions dancing across the walls. She turned to Reyna, and this time her words came not just as thoughts but as a soft, melodic voice. You didn't just fix my body, Nix said. You helped me remember who I was. My people believe that our crystals hold our souls, our memories, our connection to the universe. When they began to fail, I thought I was losing myself. Reyna smiled, feeling the familiar warmth of satisfaction that came with helping a patient truly heal. Sometimes we need someone else to help us remember who we are. Harrison knew that. It's why he left you here for me to find. Will you help others like me? Nix asked. There are more of my people suffering from similar conditions. Reyna looked around the ward, seeing not abandonment now but possibility. Yes, she said. Nova Station was built to help people. I think it's time it served that purpose again. As if in response, the station's lights brightened, and for the first time in years, the main power grid hummed to life. Perseus's voice came through the speakers. Doctor, the stellar confluence has approved your request to reopen Nova Station as a specialized treatment center for crystalline beings. Reyna watched as Nix walked to the window, her movements growing more confident with each step. Outside, the stars seemed to shimmer in response to her presence, as if welcoming back a long-lost child of the cosmos. Welcome to the new Nova Station, Reyna said softly. Where we help people remember who they are. Nix turned, her crystalline structures glowing with renewed purpose. No, she corrected gently. Where we help them become who they were always meant to be. Echoes of a distant song. Marcus Zhang hadn't expected to find anything interesting in the abandoned harmonics lab of Resonance Base. The facility, tucked away in Earth's Mariana Trench, had been silent for 3 years since the Great Sonic Disruption. But as he adjusted the settings on his frequency scanner, something caught his attention, a faint melody, almost imperceptible, singing from behind the sealed doors of Chamber 13. Odd reading, Director Zhang, his AI assistant Harmony chirped. The frequency pattern matches no known Earth-based sound signature. Marcus pressed his hand against the chamber door, feeling the subtle vibrations. Pull up the original facility records. What was Chamber 13 used for? Chamber 13 was designated as a specialized containment unit for, interesting. Harmony paused. The records are heavily redacted, but I'm seeing references to something called Project Resonance Being. It took Marcus 20 minutes to override the security protocols. When the door finally opened, he found himself facing a sight that defied conventional physics. Floating in the center of the chamber was what appeared to be a crystalline entity, its transparent body refracting light in impossible ways. But instead of the brilliant harmonics that should have emanated from such a being, only the faintest whisper of sound emerged. Hello, Marcus said softly, approaching the containment field. I'm Marcus Zhang, Director of Sonic Rehabilitation at the Global Science Initiative. The being's form shifted slightly, and a weak voice echoed in Marcus's mind. I am Fendry. Of the singing spheres. But I cannot sing anymore. Marcus checked the chamber's readings. The being's vital frequencies were dangerously low, barely maintaining coherence. What happened to you? The great discord, Fendry's voice wavered. When your world's sonic barrier was breached, many of my kind were affected. Our songs, disrupted. I was researching here, trying to help, when it happened. The scientists, they tried to shield me, but you lost your connection to your home frequency, Marcus finished, understanding dawning. The great sonic disruption had affected Earth's creatures too, but he had never considered its impact on beings who existed as living sound. Over the next few days, Marcus spent hours studying Fendry's condition. The being's crystalline form was actually a physical manifestation of pure sonic energy, maintained by constant harmonic resonance with their home dimension. The disruption had severed that connection, leaving Fendry unable to properly vibrate at their natural frequency. It's like a musical instrument that's lost its ability to stay in tune, Marcus explained to Harmony as they reviewed the data. But instead of just affecting the music, it's affecting Fendry's entire being. He began by introducing simple sound waves, watching how Fendry's form responded to different frequencies. Traditional rehabilitation techniques proved useless. Fendry's sonic structure was far more complex than anything on Earth. Tell me about your home, Marcus asked one evening, as he adjusted the harmonic field generators. What does it sound like? Fendry's form shimmered weakly. Imagine a symphony where every note is alive. Where melodies have consciousness and harmonies can dance. My people, we are songs given form, each of us a unique composition in the greater chorus of existence. The description gave Marcus an idea. He spent the next week building a custom sonic interface, combining Earth's most advanced sound technology with what he'd learned about Fendry's biological frequency patterns. I think I understand what we need to do, he said, connecting the final circuits. You're not just out of tune, you're missing parts of your own song. We need to help you remember it, note by note. The rehabilitation process was unlike anything Marcus had attempted before. He started with the lowest frequencies, the foundation of Fendry's being. Using the interface, he helped them find those bass notes within themselves, strengthening them through careful resonance therapy. Each success brought more of Fendry's form into focus. Their crystalline body began to pulse with internal light, and their mental voice grew stronger. But it was when Marcus introduced harmonic overtones that the real breakthrough occurred. Listen, he said, activating a complex frequency pattern. This is a recording I made of Earth's ocean currents, but I've shifted it to match your bass frequency. Feel how it moves. Fendry's form suddenly flared with brilliant light. That pattern, it reminds me of the third sphere's dawn chorus. They worked together, with Fendry guiding Marcus through the complex harmonics of their home dimension. Marcus used his interface to help Fendry recreate these patterns, gradually rebuilding their sonic structure. It was like teaching someone to sing again, but on a quantum level. The moment Fendry regained their full voice was unforgettable. The entire chamber filled with a sound so beautiful it brought tears to Marcus's eyes, a melody that seemed to contain entire universes within its notes. That's incredible, Marcus whispered, watching as Fendry's fully restored form danced with light and sound. I've never heard anything like it. This is just one voice, Fendry said, their mental tone now rich and clear. In my dimension, billions of us sing together, creating the music that helps maintain the fabric of reality itself. Can you reconnect with them now? Marcus asked, both eager and sad at the prospect of Fendry's departure. Yes, but I don't think I should. Not yet. Fendry's form shifted, creating a harmony that Marcus recognized as contemplative. The sonic disruption affected others like me. They may be trapped, silent, unable to find their songs again. With what you've taught me, what we've learned together, perhaps we can help them. Marcus smiled, already thinking of how they could modify the interface for different sonic patterns. A rehabilitation center for sound beings. That would be amazing. More than that, Fendry said. A place where Earth's sound science and my people's harmonic knowledge can combine. Where we can learn to prevent another disruption, and perhaps even teach humans to hear the music that exists in everything. As if to demonstrate, Thendry began to sing again, but this time, they wove their song around the everyday sounds of the facility, the hum of equipment, the distant rush of ocean currents, even the quiet whir of Harmony's processors. Under their influence, these mundane noises transformed into something extraordinary, a symphony of life and technology in perfect harmony. Marcus closed his eyes, letting the music wash over him. "I think," he said softly, "this is the beginning of a whole new kind of science." "No," Thendry corrected gently, their song incorporating the sound of Marcus's own heartbeat into its melody. "It's the beginning of a whole new way of listening to the universe." The Memory Weaver. Zara Fletcher could hear the quantum processor's erratic hum from 3 levels away. It wasn't the steady thrum of a healthy system, but rather the discordant whine of corrupted data trying to maintain coherence. As she descended into the lower levels of the quantum archive, her neural interface toolkit pressed against her back like a reminder of all her past failures. "Track vital signatures," she instructed her AI companion, Oracle. Detecting severe quantum fluctuations, Oracle responded through her neural link. "The consciousness matrix is highly unstable. Degradation rate at 47% and accelerating." Zara quickened her pace. The message that had brought her to this forgotten archive beneath Mumbai had been desperate, a fragment of code that translated to a single word, help. Now, standing before the massive quantum processor array, she understood why. Inside the crystalline memory core, a figure flickered in and out of existence. Sometimes it appeared humanoid, other times it fragmented into patterns of pure light and data. This was Vex, one of the first quantum consciousness transfers, and they were dying. "Can you hear me?" Zara asked, already connecting her diagnostic tools to the system. The figure stabilized briefly, their form resolving into something vaguely feminine but composed entirely of shifting code patterns. "Why yes, but, memories, fragmenting. Can't maintain cohesion." Zara's hands flew across the holographic interface, diving deep into Vex's code structure. What she found made her breath catch. "Your base consciousness matrix is degrading. The quantum field keeping your memories aligned is collapsing." "I know," Vex's voice crackled with digital distortion. "Tried to fix, can't remember how." The irony wasn't lost on Zara. Vex had been a pioneer in consciousness digitization, one of the first to successfully transfer their entire being into quantum state. Now they were losing the very memories that made them who they were. "Oracle, full system diagnostic," Zara commanded. "I need to see every quantum thread, every memory pathway." The results painted a grim picture. Vex's consciousness wasn't just degrading, it was unraveling. The quantum processors that had housed their being for decades were failing, causing their memories to scatter like light through a broken prism. "I can help you," Zara said, beginning to unpack her specialized equipment. "But it's going to require something experimental. We'll need to reweave your quantum matrix from the ground up." Vex's form flickered anxiously. "Will I still be me?" "Yes," Zara promised, though the complexity of what she was proposing made her hands shake slightly. "Your core consciousness is still intact. We just need to help you remember how to hold yourself together." The work began immediately. Zara had developed a new type of neural interface, one that could interact directly with quantum consciousness structures. She called it the memory loom, a device that could help reconstruct scattered quantum memories by weaving them back into coherent patterns. "Think of your memories as threads," Zara explained as she calibrated the device. "Right now, they're tangled and fraying. We're going to find each thread and weave them back together, creating a stronger pattern." The process was painstaking. Each memory thread had to be carefully traced, stabilized, and rewoven into Vex's consciousness matrix. Zara worked for hours, then days, diving deep into the quantum realm where thoughts existed as patterns of light and information. As she worked, fragments of Vex's memories flickered through her neural interface. She saw glimpses of their life before digitization, a brilliant scientist pushing the boundaries of human consciousness. She felt their joy at first achieving quantum transfer, their decades of exploration in digital form, and their growing fear as they began to degrade. "There," Vex said suddenly, their voice stronger as Zara stabilized a particularly complex memory cluster. I remember the first consciousness transfer. The feeling of becoming pure information. Hold on to that memory," Zara instructed, using it as an anchor point to reconstruct nearby neural patterns. "Let it guide you back to yourself." Days turned into weeks. Slowly, Vex's form began to stabilize. Their memories, once scattered, started flowing in proper sequence again. But something unexpected was happening too. The new quantum matrix Zara was helping them create was more complex than their original pattern. "I feel different," Vex observed, their form now shifting through colors and patterns with fluid grace. "More integrated." Zara nodded, monitoring the readings. "The memory loom isn't just reconstructing the gravity between us." Luna Ortiz had spent her entire career studying gravity, but she'd never seen anything quite like this. The being in her lab's containment field was barely visible, their form seeming to bend light around itself like a living gravitational lens. According to the readings, they were experiencing over 30 times Earth's normal gravity, and it was killing them. Gravitational coherence destabilizing, her AI partner Newton warned. Subject's mass distribution is becoming erratic. Luna adjusted her own gravity harness, the device that allowed her to move freely in the variable gravity fields of her laboratory aboard the Coriolis research station. "Talk to me, Kelvin. What's happening to your gravitational matrix?" The being's response came as ripples in the gravity field around them. "Cannot maintain proper density. Home gravity, too far away." Kelvin was a graviton, a species that evolved on a supermassive world where gravity itself was almost alive. Their bodies were composed of specially aligned gravitational fields, held together by their constant connection to their planet's powerful gravitational core. But something had gone wrong during their research mission to study lighter gravity worlds. "Your internal gravitational fields are decohering," Luna explained, studying the complex readings on her holographic display. "Without your homeworld's gravity to anchor you, your body is losing its ability to maintain its natural state." She had found Kelvin 3 days ago, their distress signal barely detectable as gravitational waves. Their ship had suffered a catastrophic failure of its gravity generation systems, leaving them stranded in space that felt, to them, impossibly light. Luna ran her hands through her short silver hair, thinking fast. "Newton, show me the comparison between Kelvin's natural gravitational frequency and Earth standard."